2 crew members were killed in an attack on an Israeli oil tanker in the Indian Ocean. Now Israel is accusing Iran of being behind the attack. So Israel has accused Iran of being responsible for a fatal attack on an oil tanker in the Indian Ocean. Foreign Minister Yair Lapid said there had to be a sharp international reaction to this. He had instructed Israeli diplomats to campaign for a UN reaction to Tehran's terrorist crackdown. 2 crew members were killed in the alleged drone attack on the tanker operated by an Israeli entrepreneur on Thursday. Iran is not just a problem for Israel, but an exporter of terrorism, destruction and instability that harms all of us, Lapid wrote on Twitter on Friday evening, and he wrote, "We must never remain silent in the face of Iranian terrorism, which also affects the freedom of navigation." A Romanian and a British man were killed in the attack on the tanker MT Mercer Street, which has a Japanese owner and is operated by the Israeli entrepreneur Eyal Ofer's Zodiac Maritime Company. Lapid said he had also spoken to Britain's Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab about the need for a serious response to the attack on the ship. According to the operator, the tanker was off the coast of Oman at the time of the attack. The ship was therefore without cargo on the way from Tanzanian Dar es Salaam to Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates. According to the US Army, US Marines responded to an emergency call from the ship's crew and supported the crew on board after the attack. There are clear indications of a drone attack on the ship, said the US military. The New York Times reported, citing Israeli government officials who were not named, that the attack was carried out with several drones. There was initially no official commitment to the attack on MT Mercer Street. The Iranian state broadcaster Al-Alam reported, however, citing informed regional circles, that the attack was a response to a recent Israeli attack on a Syrian airport. Iran is one of the most important supporters of the Syrian ruler Bashar al-Assad and his troops. Israel regularly uses airstrikes to counter the growing influence of Iran in Syria. In the Gulf region, there are repeated attacks on ships, which experts see as part of a shadow war between Israel and Iran. Analysts from Driat Global, a consultancy specializing in maritime security, said the attack on MT Mercer Street was the 5th attack on a ship linked to Israel since February. During the same period, there were 2 attacks on ships with connections to Iran. Former Israeli Brigadier General and security expert Shlomo Brom told AFP that the attack on MT Mercer Street had similar characteristics to an alleged drone attack on an Iranian centrifuge factory in June, for which Israel was blamed. The Iranians are imitating us and using the same techniques, said Brom. However, neither Iran nor Israel are interested in a major escalation. The attack on the oil tanker flying the Liberian flag took place against the background of difficult talks in Vienna about a revival of the international nuclear agreement with Iran. The negotiations, in which the USA also indirectly participates, had recently been suspended and will only continue after the inauguration of the new Iranian president Ebrahim Raisi in the coming week. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.